I started out right at about 419. 6 months in, I'm now weighing 294 pounds. I no longer have to buy 2 seats to fly on an airplane. And if anyone is going to, if you're even thinking about, stop thinking and do it.
If you're serious about losing that weight and regaining your health and vitality, call the number on the screen right now.
Hey, I'm Damon Davis. I want to welcome you to a very special edition of the Zoe Life. Today we're talking about money. That's right. We're going to talk about cash, greenbacks, the stuff all of us need and certainly many of us wish we had more of. Today's program is with my good friend T.C. Bradley. He is an author, speaker, lecturer, helping institutions, companies, and individuals understand the principles of money. His brand new book, God Made Millionaire, is our topic of discussion, but specifically principles about money that can change money in your life. How you doing?
Good.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
I know you.
Right.
We've been together on TV a couple times. We handpicked you to come here and be here and talk about money to an audience in Atlanta. And by the way, we're not going to talk about God, although I happen to believe in him. We're going to talk about money and the principles and perspectives about money. So I don't want to turn anybody away who's tuned in and thinks that we're going to be preaching to you about cash. That's not what the show's about. The show is called Zoe Life because the show is designed to help people move from ordinary to extraordinary life. Zoe in the Greek means life abundant. So we try to bring people from different perspectives, with different context, different background, different walks of life that I consider at expert level. Well, let's define what that means. Experts, they say
Right.
It takes 10,000 hours of doing that thing for you to be an expert at it. And you have spent more than 10,000 hours
Right.
in the area of finance, money, building business, engineering business, and helping people discover how to make it cash. So I asked you to come here.
Right.
And tonight's show's about money. So without further ado, give the viewers a little snapshot of who you are, your background, and why we're going to get into this thing called money.
Right. Well, Damon, thank you for having me. My background is in the publishing and media space. I more of the internet marketing space. The first website that I built in 2003, we sold over $1 million worth of product from that site worldwide.
Wow.
And within 2 years' time, we had more website traffic going to our website than Miss Oprah had going to her website. Now, what I didn't tell you before is that before I started that website, I had lost a company. We had started a company about 2 years prior to that, brought in a partner to this company, and I brought him in. I trusted this man like a father figure. We built that up to $1.6 million in sales in the first 6 months. So if you go by the multiples in business, it's about a $5 to $10 million company.
Wow.
And we lost that company. He called me up one day, said he was going to terminate the partnership. So my life completely changed overnight. Here I am, I own a $5 to $10 million company one day, and the next day I don't.
Yeah.
And we settled with him very quickly, severed that relationship, and within 2 years' time, things got turned around to such a degree with the website and that we launched. I didn't have any experience with that, and we grew that very successfully. Made a name for myself on a global basis in that space, and I shifted into publishing after my sudden cardiac arrest that occurred in 2012. In 2012, I had a sudden cardiac arrest outside of my house. Within 10 seconds, Damon, of being placed in the ambulance, I was gone. no heartbeat, no pulse. Sudden cardiac death is what they call it. I don't know if you remember Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile,
Yeah,
the
of
actor
course.
from the Green
Yeah,
Mile.
yeah.
He had the same thing happen, but he was gone for 5 minutes before Omarosa had revived him.
Yeah.
But he passed away sadly 2 weeks later in the hospital because it's just catastrophic. Most people, less than 1% of people survive that event, and yet I was fortunate to survive that.
And not suffer, clearly, any brain damage.
Right.
That's great. We talk a lot about health and wellness in the body on this show, and that is a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous story. And to be able to say, I survived. And something tells me that was a critical crossroad in your life, and probably said some things to you. And if you can come out of that, if you can overcome that, oh, that's the setup for some serious butt whooping.
But you know, Damon, it happened to me when I was 48 years of age. I mean, I want to make that clear to the people listening at home. I never saw the elbow coming. I never saw it coming. 48 years of age, and within 10 seconds of being placed up in the ambulance, my wife was outside that ambulance, and she blew a kiss to me, and I thought peas and carrots, because that's what our little thing between each other. And I thought to myself, this is just way too much drama.
Yeah.
And within 10 seconds being placed there, I was gone.
Gosh.
So it's not something that you want to play around with, regardless of your age. You don't want, because I didn't see it coming, but you're absolutely right. It was a defining moment in my life because we take so much for granted in life. We think that I thought I was going to live forever. No one thinks they're going to die. No one wakes up that morning thinking that this event could happen, and yet that did happen to me, and my life was spared. But here's the important thing. I knew it was spared for a reason, and it wasn't just for business in my particular case. And that's how I transitioned into the publishing and media space, because I wrote my book and I used my internet marketing skill set to drive it to bestseller status. And we beat out Joe Osteen, we beat out T.D. Jakes for a day or two. No, it's only a day or two on the bestseller
But we'll
list.
take it.
But I'll take it. And I actually went on his radio show, and I told him on his radio show that I took him out for a day or two. His brother Paul, who he hits pretty hard on his show, he was on there, and he was loving the fact I was hitting him so hard. But
let me insert something, because I think it's important to point out. You had some ups and downs. I mean, you made it, you lost it.
You know, the introduction you gave me, I didn't feel too smart when I lost a $10 million business.
You made it.
Right.
You lost it.
Right.
But you made it again.
Right.
And then tragedy didn't stop you. So if we could leap into principle one on this show, principles that will change the money in your life, would it be safe to say that one of those principles is commitment?
Oh, without a question.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, without a question. I think in my life that commitment is the launching pad of miracles. I don't think divine providence moves for a man or a woman unless they're committed to that process. You know what, Damon? I'm going to tell you what I was committed to lying up in that hospital bed in the cardiac intensive care unit. When you're laying up there, what I was committed to was not being a cardiac cripple.
Wow.
For the rest of my life. I don't want anybody look at me and say, there's a cardiac cripple. I was committed to that process. I wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to go on disability and not make my way.
Yeah.
So I was committed, but you show me a man or a woman committed to making it happen, in your business.
Yeah.
You know when somebody's committed to their dream.
Yeah.
You know when somebody's committed to living a better life. The evidence follows them.
It does.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will tell you, anybody who has built anything or embarked upon building anything knows that this much is certain. Tough stuff's going to come. Obstacles are going to get in the way. And if you do not have a commitment, you're going to be like so many people who face that wall and stop and retreat. That's not you.
No, it is not.
Is that the kind of commitment you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about a commitment that will open up the heavens and move earth. I mean, when you are committed to the process, it's like divine providence moves on your behalf, but it doesn't occur unless you are committed. It is the launching pad of miracles. When you get tired and you say, enough is enough, I'm tired of living this way. And look at the age that we live in, Damon. Look at the time that we live in. We have access to more information than ever before.
We do.
We do. And we have such an advantage that our folks didn't have growing up. And when you are committed to the process, things magically begin to happen. But unfortunately, most people are not committed to a process. Like you said, until the going gets tough. They're committed until they got to step out the door to go to the gym. The toughest steps, to doing a workout is the first step out the door to head to the gym.
I have found often in my career and in my business life and in endeavors that it is almost as though we're working, obstacle, struggle. And just at that moment that most people quit is the breakthrough.
Right.
It's as though law of physics are at play, and while you're working to do your part here, something's happening over here. The breakthrough is just around the corner.
Right.
If I were to profile all of the shows and interviews I've done of successful people, and I have met and worked with a lot of successful people.
Yes, you have.
They all say the same thing. I did my part. I remained committed to the process.
Right.
And then there was breakthrough.
Right.
You find that to be the case with money.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think what happens, Damon, is that most people, they'll focus on the wrong things. They'll actually focus on the negatives of what's gone wrong instead of what's gone right.
Very good.
In their life. Now, when I lost that $10 million company, when I lost it, raising my hand going, how come I didn't see that, right? The only reason that I didn't sit in a bar, right, throwing back shots in a bar is the fact, talking about that skunk business partner, right, that took my company, I was committed.
He must have been from Chicago.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, he's from St. Louis, I think, so that's even worse.
Just kidding.
Right, yeah, I am kidding, St. Louis. We love St. Louis, Damon. See what you got me started with?
Let's talk about...
But I want to just share this with you before you unpack any further, is that the only difference is that I looked at what I had left. He had my company. I wasn't going to let him have my future.
Of course not.
And I had
you chose to focus on the positive, the things you had accomplished, the things that you had done, the things that had gone right.
Right.
Not what went wrong.
And what I had left.
Yeah.
And what I had left.
That is a good segue to state of mind. No, state of mind is different than commitment.
Right.
The power, Zig Ziglar.
Come on.
Stephen Covey.
I love Zig.
Norman Vincent Peale. I mean, let's make the list.
Yeah, you're talking.
The power of positive thinking.
Right.
The battle is here, isn't it?
Right.
Talk to me.
It's in the mind. It's your mindset. I'll tell you a story. There was a salesperson that had a job, and he made $75,000 a year. The company was so impressed with his results, they expanded his territory because he had a really bad territory. The next year, he hit $75,000. They figured, what the heck? We just doubled his territory. He should have done $150,000 in revenue. He did 75. They put him in the worst territory, and what happened? He hit $75,000. Most people sitting at home, you have a financial thermometer, right? And it's set at a certain level. And my point to you would be, you're not going to hit a multiple 6 or 7-figure income with a $35,000 a year mentality.
Well said.
Or a $75,000 a year mentality. People that operate at those levels think differently than a person at a $35,000 level. We just do. It's just a different mindset.
It is a different mindset. And that's not to discourage or insult anyone who would be at a certain income bracket, because, hey, celebrate the victory that you have at the level that you're at. But it doesn't mean we have to settle there, stay there. What does that mean? It means it starts with believing you are perhaps greater than you perceive. It's believing that you are capable of more than you might think you can conceive.
Right.
Where is it? How does one move? How does one move from that level, therefore, to the level of millionaire mindset? if most of us, statistically, are raised in a place where we've never seen that side. We've never experienced that side. Someone told me one time that poverty is almost like a disease, and it sticks for generations.
Right.
That's mindset. How do we move from there to there?
Well, I think it comes back to that deserve issue. I have a great story behind what you were just saying. I just had a conversation this week, as a matter of fact, with a woman that came to our publishing company to do a book. And I asked her, I said, she said, I don't feel like I have anything to contribute to this book. I said, tell me about your story. Tell me your story. As far as a real estate investor, she's a real estate. I said, have you done any deals? She said, yes, I've done 150 deals. I said, 150 real estate deals.
That's a lot of deals.
But I lost the company, she tells me. In 2008, when the markets changed, she lost it all. There are a lot of people watching this in 2008. It was brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I have millionaire friends that are not millionaires because of 2008.
Oh, yeah.
They lost it all. And here she was not feeling that she had anything of contribution to contribute after doing 150 real estate deals.
She felt like she didn't deserve success.
Right.
Didn't deserve, gotcha.
Right. So that comes back to that mindset a little bit, but you've got to break through that. I think the deserve issue is, well, you get this dream, you have a dream that you have, and then you talk to the wrong people. You talk to somebody that doesn't have your dream, doesn't have your vision, they'll never have it in the first place, and they're broke in the second place, and they're not looking for you to level up, and look what happens.
Yeah.
They'll tear down your dream. They'll
Certainly.
tear down your vision. But that focus, here's that woman, perfect example, focusing on her loss in 2008 versus the fact that she got off of the couch and she did something incredible. Wouldn't you love to hear her story of how she did 150 real estate deals?
Yeah.
A mom at home doing that. Yeah, I think a lot of people would, but she didn't.
Well, that's because she understood the principle of hard work. Great segue.
Right.
Hard work. So many people trying to make the buck and believing it's going to happen just on luck.
Right.
Nah. I don't think I have anything that I didn't work hard for.
Right.
How do we get people to understand the very basic principle of sweat?
Right. The easiest way for that, Damon, I believe, is look at the farmer, or look at the farmers in our country. They plant a seed in the spring, but they don't just plant the seed. In the fall, they're some of the most hardest working people in our country.
Yeah.
You'll see them on the combines. It's a beautiful, awe-inspiring sight if you see a farmer in Iowa at night with the lights on the combines and they're bringing in that harvest. You've got to get action. You've got to bring that harvest in. You can decree it all day long. You can put a vision board up in your office. The farmer doesn't do that. And the one place you're not going to find a farmer in the fall is on a cruise ship. They're going to be on a combine bringing that harvest in.
Yeah.
Because it ain't going to, they could pray, say, let this harvest come in. That harvest ain't coming in by itself, baby.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
So that's the value of that hard work. Follow the example of our farmers. They'll show you the way.
Would you agree that in many cases, you gotta move not by emotion? In other words, sometimes we get up and we just don't feel like staying at the plow.
Right.
It's tough. It's not easy. We don't see immediate gratification.
Right.
Scott Peck, MD, wrote that book, Delayed Gratification. Said it's one of the most important principles we could learn, and that is that we live today in a society where people want it by microwave results.
Today they do.
But sometimes delaying gratification, which in other words, instead, you can't move by emotion all the time. Sometimes you just got to get up, put one foot in front of the other, and do it because hard work is necessary to achieve great results.
Right.
Did I nail it on the head?
Right. Well, you did nail it on the head, and you've got to pay the price.
Yeah.
You know, listen, the highway of success, it's a tollway. You got to pay your dues, baby. It's not a freeway. It's a tollway. You got to pay your dues on that road to success.
Very good.
And there are no shortcuts.
No. So, great segue to our last principle.
Right.
That I think is a great rounding off point for us to help so many people watching. They're trying to break through.
Right.
And break to financial success. And that is never give up. Some call it perseverance. We opened it with commitment to the dream. But we will face a point where we just say, wow, I guess I was wrong. I opened the wrong door. I listened to the wrong advice.
I didn't listen to my wife.
Never give up. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think that attitude of never give up is a huge critical component of success, because I think that there are so many reasons why you can throw in the towel. But that's what really draws you back. That's where your commitment will carry you through those hard times. So I think that it's important for you to realize at home when you see successful people, I mean, even on Instagram, right? Yeah, people put these pictures up of cars that they don't own, of houses they don't own, and you look at that life and you say, well, I'm working hard and I'm not seeing that. Never judge yourself by another man's success.
Good.
Because if you're doing that, you don't know the price that that man paid for that success. As you said, you don't know the hours that you put in. They see you up here looking all pretty, right, for the camera. They don't see the behind the scenes here when you're at 2 o'clock in the morning working behind the scenes and running this incredible organization that you have. They don't see that work.
No.
Never judge yourself by another man's success. If
No.
you do, then it'll be easier for you not to give up, in my opinion.
I agree with you. So many years I spent believing that my happiness
Right.
and my approval had the right to live in another man's head.
Mm.
It wasn't until I realized that my happiness and my approval resides in my own.
Right.
Did I start doing the right things to get on the right track, to get me to the place that I really wanted to be? And I would say that not giving up in many ways in our life has a lot to do with the voices that we listen to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
People in our ear that haven't figured out the principles to succeed, and instead have a lot of stories about the reason why they failed. And almost all of the time, it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
And when you don't hit the goal, when you don't hit the mark, when your business forecast seems to be wrong, or when your business starts to struggle and seems to be dying, they're always there.
Right.
To say to you, I told you so. Just give up. Change your course. No. Worse, they say, change the mark.
Right.
The old saying is, if you want to reach the moon, you got to shoot for the stars. Is that what it is? Or is it the other way around? The point is, we've got to set our sights high.
Right.
We've got to be committed. But when that time comes and the naysayers are sitting on the doorstep telling us to shut the door, we've got to push through.
Right.
We've got to listen to what's right here.
Right.
Am I right?
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think taking counsel, how can a broke person teach you how to be prosperous and successful? How can you do that? How can they do that? They can't do that. So if you're going to break out of that limitation, find somebody that has the success, find somebody that's paid the price for that success, and talk to them.
Yeah.
Learn from them. Get a senior counsel around you. Surround yourself with a council of successful people, not broke people.
Yep.
Not
The
broke
old
people.
saying, if you surround yourself by people that are where you're trying to go, you will inevitably reach that destination. Thank God for good counsel.
Right,
And
thank God.
thank goodness for guys like you to be in our corner and help us understand what we've got to do and win in this thing called life. Thanks for your investment of time with us tonight. And also, let me just encourage you, get your hand on the book that's available from his business and his mission to help people achieve the Zoe life. See you again next time. I'm Damon. This has been the Zoe Life. We'll see you. Awesome.
Can you lose 30 pounds or more in 30 days? Now you can. You can finally lose the weight you've always wanted, not by counting points, not by prepackaged fad diets, and without exercise or unnecessary medications, but by brand new cutting-edge technology that's been proven to work through testimonial after testimonial. Guaranteed. Your first step is to pick up the phone and call the Zoe Weight Loss and Body Balancing Expert team of trained doctors and health consultants right now. Zoe's technology-based biometric body analysis utilizes cellular biocommunication to identify specifically why you're gaining weight and having difficulty keeping it off. This information targets specific biomarkers that have fallen outside of their healthy range. Step 2. Based on your biometric body analysis, the Zoe team develops a targeted plan based upon your body's unique needs. They'll determine precisely what food and supplements your body needs in order for your body to achieve internal balance, thus eliminating unnecessary body fat, toxins, and bacteria that cause weight gain. Step 3. Simply follow the plan for the next 30 days that's been specifically designed for you by Zoe's technology and team of weight loss experts. And for the first time in your life, you'll now have the tools to maintain this healthier, slimmer version of you for the rest of your life. When you follow your body's targeted plan, you can expect incredibly fast results and lose up to 30 pounds or more in just 30 days. Sustainable weight loss while eating real foods, reduced need for prescribed medications, overall improved health through internal cellular balance, including joint relief, lower blood pressure, and increased energy. At Zoe Weight Loss and Body Balancing, you'll be on your way to fat loss and true wellness for the rest of your life. It's that simple. How much would you pay for overall wellness? How much would you pay for as much as 2 pounds of weight loss per day? All of this without pills, expensive exercise equipment, or prepackaged foods. Absolutely. Exclusive to this program, Zoe Wellness Center is offering the initial consultation and the biometric body analysis for only $30 for a limited time. The biometric body analysis and consultation is normally valued at $100, but with this special offer, you will receive $70 off the price if you act right now.
They not only talked about weight, but they told me what was going on inside my body. When they say you could lose up to 30 pounds in 30 days, I was really skeptical, but I kept losing that, about a pound a day. This really is working, and I need to keep following this because it's really going to pay off.
You now have no more excuses to get started on your weight loss journey. Call now.